Welcome to the Wednesday edition of the Goal Post. From breathtaking goals to tactical masterclass, we break down every moment that makes football the beautiful game. Get ready for expert insight analysis, thrilling match insights, and the hottest story around the world of football. I'm your host, Oluwamayowa. I'll be flying solo today. Team is in this post. A whole lot of games were played in the Champions League. Well, it's a Champions League week, and we kick it off with the Champions League. A whole lot of games were played in the Champions League yesterday. We had a whole lot of English teams travel for away games, and they were so spectacular in delivering results. We start out with the Aston Villa game. Aston Villa traveled to Club Brugge, defeating Club Brugge at home 3-1. It was an interesting match, which had Leon Bailey kickstarting the scoring, and it was an exciting game through and through, attacking games all through and through. Aston Villa triumphs in Belgium, secures 3-1 victory over Club Brugge. Aston Villa's Leon Bailey opened the scoring in the 3rd minute, setting the tone for the match. Club Brugge's Maxime de Cooper equalized in the 12th minute, but an own goal by Brandon Michelis in the 2nd minute shifted back the momentum to Aston Villa. Marco Asensio sealed the win for Aston Villa with a penalty in the 88th minute, and Aston Villa takes a significant advantage into the second leg at Villa Park. It was an interesting game. We have Aston Villa traveling away and getting the victory. A whole lot of people would have thought that Aston Villa, in the first leg, Aston Villa struggled against Club Brugge, owing to the fact that the game entered 1-0 in favour of Aston Villa and the game was keenly contested. However, in the second leg, Aston Villa showed class and they showed real intent in terms of their ambition for the tournament. A whole lot of people might have, one of the few things that happened going to that particular game was the inconsistency of Aston Villa in the league. And in the league, sometimes you expect them to perform magic and they will end up disappointing you. And that was the skepticism, going into that particular game. But however, it seems Unai Emery was able to, get things done for Aston Villa, deploying key tactics and ensuring that they were attacking all through and they were able to get the result. On the side of Club Brugge, our own Rafael Onyedika was also featured in that particular game. He played for about 70 minutes. However, he couldn't affect his team, and they ended up losing that particular game. We also saw Marcus Rashford playing about 60 minutes in that particular game and also giving his best. Marco Asensio came in and it was fantastic. However, in the 88th minute, I think through the rush of blood, the Club Brugge defender decided to concede a needless penalty, which gave Aston Villa, a 2-goal lead into the second leg. Aston Villa are sitting pretty in terms of the return leg based off the fact that they have a 2-goal advantage, and that might be very, very important in the second leg. The Villa Park is not the easiest place. It's not the easiest of places to go to get victory. However, Club Brugge have shown resilience in this season's Champions League, and they've been able to dispatch, bigger teams for them to be able to get where they are. Moving forward, we also saw Dortmund, playing a 1-1 draw with Lille. It was a very boring game. There was really nothing much to talk about in that particular game. Dortmund, after the shot on goal were very, very limited. Dortmund opened the scoring with Karim Adeyemi. However, in the 22nd minute, Karim Adeyemi's Dortmund scored in 22nd minute, giving the host the lead, while Lille's Akon Henderson equalized in the 60th minute with their first shot on target. Despite Dortmund's dominance in the first half, they couldn't capitalize further, leaving the tie open for the second leg. The Lille-Dortmund game is a 50-50 game. Basically, Dortmund dominated the game in the first half. However, their domination did not lead into a whole lot of chances being created. There were the chances were far in between, and throughout the first half, Dortmund had only one shot on target, which showed the fact that Lille defended very well. Lille had the surprising team, had the surprise package of this Champions League. They've been very exceptional. I mean, getting to this stage of the Champions League is them punching above their weight. A whole lot of people would have expected that, you know, Lille would have been dumped out. However, um, Lille gave a good account of themselves, and that's the reason why where they are at the moment. It's an interesting game, and um, a whole lot of people. Dortmund were the finalists last season. However, in this season's Champions League, it seems they've been struggling for form. Remember, they had to go through the playoff for them to get to this particular point, and you know, it's not something that they want to look at as a key performance for them. Earlier in the season, their coach was fired, and that's the reason why Niko Kovac was brought in. Um, in the playoff round, they were able to deliver results, dispatching their opponent easily. However, it seems Lille has posed, a very strong challenge to see if they will be able to make it to the next round. It's still an open tie. For me, it's a 50-50 tie. It's a 50-50 game, owing to the fact that, Dortmund were a bit underwhelming based off the fact that they have a whole lot of stars. They have a star-studded team. They have much more quality than the Lille team. However, they have been unable to deliver, results when it matters most, and that is one of the key reasons why they struggled in that particular game. Overall, it was a game of two halves. Dortmund dominated in the first half. However, in the second half, it was a different story, and they couldn't cut it in front of goal. The chances were limited. Kudos to the Lille team. They had a game plan and they stuck to it, and they were very clinical in ensuring that they gave no room for Dortmund to be able to operate in. Dortmund operates, Dortmund flourish in an environment where they have the space to play. However, Lille came in with the tactics of them closing down the spaces and ensuring that Karim Adeyemi and the likes were boxing, and they never really had the opportunity to be able to flourish or had any joy against the Lille team. Moving forward in the Champions League, it was also an exciting day for another English side that travelled to Holland. Arsenal, they've been struggling in the league. However, it's another kettle of fish in the Champions League. The way their performance in the Champions League is an indication of their intentions as regards probably maybe they have intentions winning the Champions League. Arsenal demolished PSV 7-1 with a 7-1 away victory. I mean, they are the only team that recorded such a high scoring margin against a home team. I mean, they traveled away and they were able to dispatch, PSV with six different people finding the net. There's a particular Odegaard scoring twice. However, Raheem Sterling played in that particular game and he was unable to get a goal. This alludes to the fact that a whole lot of Arsenal faithfuls have complained bitterly about how how football has left Raheem Sterling. I mean, how can you play in that kind of game that everybody were scoring and you couldn't find a goal? Arsenal's Martin Odegaard led the charge with 2 goals, showcasing exceptional playmaking skill. Youngster Ethan Nwaneri added a goal, become one of the youngest scorers in the knockout stage. PSV Noah Lang scored. PSV's Luke De Jong scored a consolation penalty, but the Dutch side was overwhelmed by a relentless attack. The commanding win virtually assures Arsenal's progression to the quarterfinals. But in any case, the performance was very exceptional. It was a 7-star performance from Arsenal. You have the likes of Nathan Nwaneri. I keep calling Nwari. Sorry, that's Nwaneri. Was on the scoring sheet, and it shows that if you put your faith, if you put faith in these younger players, they are always ready to, deliver for you. A whole lot of people have clamored for more game playing time, for more playing time for Nathan, and it seems Ateta has yielded to that pressure, and that seems to be yielding results. I mean, Nathan Nwaneri was given the chance, and he was able to deliver exceptionally. As far as Ita is concerned, I mean, Arsenal has shown class again in the Champions League. One of the things, for all the stick they get in terms of their overall performance in the APL, in terms of how they've not been, how they usually, how they've capitulated in the last 3 seasons when it mattered most in the league. I think they are making up for that in the Champions League. They are one of the teams that they were one of the top 8 teams in the Champions League, apart from Liverpool. They've also shown class in the Champions League. One of the things that they did so well yesterday in their game against PSV was that they were relentless. They were relentless in their attack. They continued to attack and they continued to attack. Yes, a lot of people might want to call into question the quality of the PSV side. However, for PSV to be able to get to the round of 16 shows they have a lot of class. A PSV side eliminated a top team from Italy. It was just that on the day, it seems Arsenal had a lot of firepower, and the likes of Nathan Nwaneri, Kelly, Odegaard, they were very exceptional in that particular game. Thomas Partey, apart from the penalty he considered, was also very exceptional in the midfield for for our national team, and it shows how prepared they are in the Champions League. Well, the jury is still out on them to see if they will be able to win the Champions League. I mean, a whole lot of people do not give them the chance. A whole lot of people do not give them, a whole lot of people think they don't have it in them to win the Champions League. But the results so far has shown that it seems they are more focused on winning the Champions as it is. I don't think a lot of people might argue that they will not be able to win the EPL again because of the current form that Liverpool is in at the moment, and for the fact that they've dropped points consistently when they were supposed to put the pressure on Liverpool. However, in the Champions League, the story is different. They've been very exceptional. They are the only team at the moment that is probably guaranteed a place, in the quarterfinal. I mean, they have a 6-goal lead going to the second leg, and the second leg will be coming up, at the Emirates Stadium, which has been a fortress for for Arteta. I mean, they've been very exceptional in Champions League at the Emirates Stadium, and they are facing up against a PSV that has, that is trailing them with 6 goals. So it's going to be very difficult. As far as I'm concerned, I think it's as good as saying Arsenal is in the next round of the Champions League. The last game of the night was an interesting game. It's a derby game. It's a battle for who owns Madrid. There's a whole lot of rivalry there. Atletico Madrid and Real Madrid, they faced off against each other in the Champions League a couple of times, and it's always Madrid that is coming on top. A whole lot of people had felt that with the inclusion of Julian Alvarez, Conor Gallagher, this Simeone, Jimenez, and the likes, they would have been able to dispatch a Real Madrid side that was struggling. Jude Bellingham was not in that particular game, and remember they also struggled in the league over the weekend, losing to Real Betis 2-1. And this is an Atletico Madrid that is beaming from a lot of confidence, owing to the fact that they've closed down the gap in the La Liga. However, it was an interesting game with Rodrigo opening the scoring. Rodrigo scored early for Real Madrid, but Atletico's Julian Alvarez equalized with a stunning goal in the 32nd minute. Brahim Diaz secured the win for Real Madrid in the 55th minute with an impressive individual effort. The victory gives Real Madrid a slender advantage heading into the second leg. I mean, so a lot of people do not give Brahim Diaz the credit he deserves. I think Brahim Diaz is, arguably one of the super subs of this season. He comes in and he delivers. against Man City in the knockout phase. In the knockout phase, he was also instrumental in ensuring that Real Madrid won that particular tie. He came up from the bench and he ensured that Real Madrid, were victorious. He scored a very crucial goal that made sure that Real Madrid won the first leg, and that gave them the confidence and the impetus to go into the second leg very relaxed, and that affected the overall outcome of that particular game. The same thing happened yesterday. Atletico Madrid played exceptionally well. They were good on the ball. They did everything that needed to be done. However, it seems Ancelotti has a way of winning against Atletico Madrid. I mean, especially in the Champions League. In the Champions League, Atletico Madrid has consistently, struggled against Real Madrid. They've lost two finals to them in 2014 and in 2016, and also in the Champions League again. In this season's Champions League, they've ended up losing again. Yes, the margin is very slim. You might say Atletico Madrid see as a shouting chance, in this year's Champions League. However, with the likes of Jude Bellingham coming back for the second leg, it might probably be a tall order for them. And this is a winner takes it all part of the Champions League. Overall, it was an interesting game. However, the second leg is still open, and we still have a whole lot. We still have a whole lot of games to see in the second leg. We have your Dortmund, who has a 50-50 chance of qualifying. There's also a Madrid going to the second leg with a slim victory. Aston Villa is taking a two-goal lead into the second leg at Villa Park, and probably that might be, that might be something that the Club Brugge might be able to turn around. Will Atletico Madrid be able to turn around the deficit? That is something we will still need to see. Thank you so much for watching. Like and comment, and we'll definitely get to read your comments on any of our programs. Thank you for watching. Have a lovely day.